1269 Felix I begins his reign as Catholic Pope. In 1463 French poet François Villon banished from Paris. In 1477 Battle of Nancy, Swiss Confederacy led by Roman II decisively defeats the Duchy of Burgundy, 7,000 killed including the Duke of Burgundy Charles the Bold. In 1554 Great Fire in Eindhoven, Netherlands. In 1593 William Louis of Nassau becomes Governor-Viceroy of Drente. In 1638 petition in Recife, Brazil leads to closing of their two synagogues. In 1649 Francesco Cavalli's opera Giusone premieres in Venice, the most popular opera of the 17th century. In 1675 Battle at Turckheim-Colmar, French army beats Brandenburg. In 1709 the Great Frost begins during the night, a sudden cold snap that remains Europe's coldest ever winter. Thousands are killed across the continent, and crops fail in France. In 1717 Prussian King Frederick William I buys conscript for nobles. In 1719 Britain, Hanover, Saxony, Poland and Austria sign anti-Prussian Russian pact. In 1757 failed assassination attempt on French King Louis Roman XV by Damiens. In 1776 Assembly of New Hampshire adopts its first state constitution. In 1781 British naval expedition led by Benedict Arnold Burns Richmond, Virginia. 1800 First Swedenborgian Temple in U.S. holds first service in Baltimore. In 1804 Ohio legislature passes first laws restricting free blacks movement. In 1809 Treaty of Dardanelles concluded between Britain and France. In 1822 Central America proclaims annexation to Mexican Empire. 1828 First edition of Amsterdam General Trade Journal Algemeen Handelsblad. In 1834 Kiowa Indians record this as the night the stars fell. Crockett aids revolution. 1836 Davy Crockett arrives in Nacogdoches, Texas, to aid the revolution. In 1840 records show 95,820 licensed public houses in England on this date. In 1841 James Clark Ross UK is first to enter pack ice near Ross Ice Shelf. In 1846 the United States House of Representatives votes to stop sharing the Oregon Territory with United Kingdom. In 1850 California Exchange opens. In 1854 steamship San Francisco wrecked off U.S. Eastern Seaboard. 300 die. In 1859 first steamboat, the North Star, sails up the northern Red River, America. 1861 250 federal troops are sent from New York to Ft. Sumter. In 1861 Alabama troops seize Forts Morgan Gaines at Mobile Bay. Braniborý Vyšehrad 1866 Bedřich Smetana's first opera Braniborý Vyšehrad The Brandenburgers in Bohemia premieres in Prague, Kingdom of Bohemia. Liebeslieder Walser 1870 Johannes Brahms collection of love songs, Liebeslieder Walser premieres. In 1875 Charles Garnier's new opera opens in Paris. In 1875 President Grant sends federal troops to Vicksburg, Mississippi. In 1887 First U.S. School of Librarianship opens at Columbia University. In 1888 Dutch Heidemarchipage land reclamation established. In 1892 first successful auroral photograph is made. Dreyfus Affair 1895 French captain Alfred Dreyfus, convicted of treason, publicly stripped of his rank, later exonerated. In 1895 Henry James play Guy Domville opens in London. In 1895 Victor Trumper makes first class debut for NSW 17 or 64 days. Discovery of X-rays 1896 Die Press newspaper Germany publicly announces Wilhelm Röntgen's discovery of X-rays and their potential for new methods of medical diagnosis in a front page article. In 1896 Isaac Albéniz opera Pepito Jiménez premieres in Barcelona. In 1900 Irish leader John Edward Redmond calls for a revolt against British rule. In 1903 SFRY telegraph cable opens for public use. 1904-34 F36.7C, River Vale, New Jersey state record. 1904-40 2F41.1C, Smithport, Pennsylvania state record. In 1904 England beat Australia, at the NCG, Road 7-56 8-6-8. In 1905, Charles Perrine announces discovery of Jupiter's seventh satellite, Elara. In 1905, incorporation of the National Association of Audubon Society, a non-profit environmental organization dedicated to conservation. In 1909, Colombia recognizes Panama's independence. In 1911, San Francisco has its first air meet. In 1912, first National Hockey Association game in Victoria. In 1912, the Prague Party Conference takes place. Ford's 5-day 1914, industrialist Henry Ford announces his 5 minimum per day wage, doubling most workers' pay from 2.40 for a 9-hour day to 5 for an 8-hour day. In 1916, Austria-Hungary offensive against Montenegro. In 1918, British Premier Lloyd George demand for unified peace. In 1919, German Workers' Party forms, precursor to the National Socialist German Workers' Party Nazi. In 1919, left-wing Spartacus organization instigates a revolt in Berlin. Terrified by the spread of Bolshevism, German troops brutally suppress the uprising. In 1925, French Baseball Federation awards silver medals to John McGraw, Charlie Comiskey, Hugh Jennings. In 1925, James Gleason, Richard Tabor's Is That So? Premieres in NYC. In 1925, Nellie Taylor Ross sworn in as Governor of Wyoming, first woman governor in USA. In 1925, under Polish control, Danzig establishes Port Gdańsk post office. In 1927, Fox Studios exhibits movie Tone. Public hearing begins 1927. MLB Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis begins 3-day public hearing on charges that 4 games played between Chicago, Detroit in 1917 had been thrown to White Sox. In 1929, coup by King Alexander in South Slavia. A single spark can start a prairie fire. 1930, Mao Zedong writes the essay A Single Spark Can Start a Prairie Fire to criticize Carter's not creating rural revolutionary base areas. In 1931, first woman to purchase a baseball team, Lucille Thomas buys Topeka Senators franchise in the Western League. Premiere of Cavalcade 1933, Cavalcade based on the play by Noel Coward, directed by Frank Lloyd, and starring Diana Wynyard and Clive Brook. Premieres in New York. Best Production Picture 1934. In 1933, work on Golden Gate Bridge begins, starting on the Marin County side. In 1934, Boston's Fenway Park catches fire.